Hi Jack, this is our day 3 daily update. Tell everybody what you did today.
I guess what we've been doing in general in terms of tech, but we've been doing scene design more or less, yes. We found well, I had a match ready yesterday, so we have been found different colors, texturing items, trying to adjust light to its perfect thickness or to its perfect brightness, and switching out different material for different part of the asset. Well, that occupied, I guess, majority amount of my day. Second part was I've been doing some shaders with GLSL, and so far
How's that going?
well, to be honest, I found out a forum that's been super helpful. Like, if you don't know, I can tell you, like, the site I sent the link to. It's very helpful, even though it's very brief. They pretty much walk you through the basic form, like basic concept of what a shader is and stuff. So that was interesting, but it was very brief. And after that, there's no good resources anymore. Like, like GLSL is just not. It's either super outdated or like just not supported. I don't see a community out there that uses it. So
Look at the CG.
I'm not sure which one is the best though, to be honest. Like, I looked how to write shaders, and the first thing they showed was a GLSL programming. But like, when you try to search GLSL tutorials, there is none, right? So which is interesting. So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, the form presented some very interesting challenges, and I actually had to write math formulas to solve those problems, and that I haven't been doing for a long time. So learning something interesting about it.
Ah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's my part.
So I guess our scene design, to elaborate on that a little bit, we decided to go with a more or less fishbowl design. The idea is really to make things more transparent on the outside, to kind of give light and give way to the skybox that we were designing. Why fishbowl? The round structure actually gives you kind of like a closer immersion than a square room would. So something we realized in VR is that everything is basically spherical anyways. Your 360 videos and everything, they're all projected onto a spherical, I guess,
map, right?
Yeah, it's like a spherical map. That's basically what it is. It's an equirectangular file wrapped on a sphere. So we thought maybe a fishbowl would be the proper architecture in terms of VR. This is something we're still experimenting as well. One of those things is like when people build houses, they usually go with a very square, very boxy looking things, just because you have maximum space and also have a strong support structure. But obviously, like you're locked in a box with the Vive, and also your physics isn't really an issue in VR. So we decided to be a little more creative in terms of architecture.
Just a quick thing. I mean, I know how we see things in VR as like spheres, as curved surfaces, because that's part of the rendering. Like the lens is actually distorted to be fisheye, or to be as curved. That's why it's better to make planes that actually has that actually wraps out to help the users read better, right? But do we actually need to do that, like implement that in our?
No, it's just the idea for transitioning from having your regular looking room to inside VR. It has to be something that's one step closer to the film that you're going to watch, since we're building a film platform anyways. And I just thought it was more creative to have something round, something like a fishbowl, something where you take all the architectural sense you would have in the real world and throw it all in the garbage. At the same time, you really preserve your ideal room scale, your ideal, we were designing the ancient Greek kind of like structure on the outside, the floating platform kind of thing. It's like all these like thoughts that people have. It's about taking things that people dreamt about what architecture will look like in the future, thousands of years ago, or maybe like a couple hundreds of years ago, and really making a reality. Because obviously skyscrapers weren't the first thing people thought of when they think about futuristic housing a long time ago. It was only like in maybe the last 50 years that people started.
Oh, they haven't just probably stopped too far.
Exactly. So we thought maybe we'd just go a little bit more into the research of what the ancient people thought about in terms of
the future.
So
well, future holds for them. Right?
We'll see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
We did the PowerPoint. We also had our cat over. That will be on Facebook very soon.
Ouch.
And what else did we do today?
You played with the cat for.
Yeah, we played with the cat for an absurd amount of time. So I think that was pretty much where most of the day went. Other than that, I think we did okay progress. Yeah, PowerPoint is almost done. At least the pitch is done, so we should be okay. We'll prepare for our trip to the States. Jenny will go to the East Coast. I'll be in the West Coast. We'll see how we can, shortlist fundraising opportunities. Really just pick and choose right now. We will not be attending VRBC in Beijing for obvious reasons tomorrow. But hopefully we'll be able to make the one afterwards. It seems like a great opportunity, and we wish best of luck to all the other batchmates that we have who will be there. Yeah, so this is pretty much that's it. Anything to add?
Well, do you want to briefly talk about the plan that you need to do tomorrow, or
Yeah.
Do you want this to be done before Jenny leaves, or in between?
No, we don't have to. We don't have to do that. Rather, we have to think about what's next. Because right now we have the keyboard set up. The next step is obviously integrating search, and that will have to spend a little bit of time figuring out how exactly we want the user experience to be. Right now, we're just trying to figure out how exactly we want to say search for videos in our platform. We don't want to do those point and click search keywords, that kind of stuff. I want to see if we can do something more. I guess in terms of virtual reality, something more intuitive in VR, something that you can't do on a plane, but you can do now. You have access to 3D space. Something more on the lines of I don't really know actually, but we'll figure that out eventually. We do have the virtual keyboard from a couple of weeks ago, and also the water mapping. So hopefully everything should be intuitive when we're a little more awake than now.
There's a little question I for us for this. I mean, yeah, so as the search is basically the same, but how about category selections? I think you should get that right. You should get that.
Camera selection.
No, categories.
Oh, categories. I think category selection we're just gonna use doors. So then right now we have an intro scene with the fireflies, right? I think that you should have an exit on the back of this portal or this platform that we have right now, and we'll go back to the firefly scene. And basically each door leads to a different kind of categories, and by categories I want to use art styles rather than genre. I believe that artists will select different kinds of art styles based on the genre they're writing for anyways. I do not like traditional selection processes where you put, drama or horror, that kind of stuff. So I think this is a better way to do this. It's almost like Monster Inc.'s, the door that opens a portal to another world. Kind of will design it through that way. Each door will be custom designed, and the scene with the light and all that will be custom designed as well for each art style. Maybe you'll have a character using that art style, something like that. But we'll make it more intuitive as we go. Right now it's all about functionality. So.
Yeah, well, what I'm worried about is, in terms of features, we still have search, we still have playing movies, but we still have downloading it actually.
Yeah, so backend and downloading, buffering, that's something that we have to worry about a little later. Right now we can figure out how we want the experience to be getting there. So once we get there, we can say, okay, let's figure out which cloud platform to look for. Progress we've made is obviously Tencent Cloud has given us resources for buffering, for storing. Ali Cloud, a little slow, so we probably won't go with them. AWS, we have a lot of credits to spend, so we'll see what we can do with processing, maybe hosting. But so I think we'll think about that later. Shaders is a big problem. We need to figure out exactly what we want to make ourselves more unique. How do we set the scene up to really reflect ourselves? That's something we have to think about as well. Sound design for keyboard is also key, so we'll probably have to look at that. Wow, there's actually a lot to do. So, but see what we can do in the near future. But yeah, I think that's it for today.